ultrasonic scans and tests for dementia are among newly covered procedures under revised government health insurance regulations. Smuggling fake luxury products is on the rise alongside online shopping on overseas websites. Scammers use identity theft to bring counterfeit products into Korea. And KBS TV has uncovered exclusive video of a fire in a Busan neighborhood shortly after the Korean War that served as the background for the hit film Ode to My Father. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Wednesday, February 4th. I'm Luke Clary. Ultrasonic scans for pregnant women will be covered under the government's new health insurance regulations in a bid to make childbirth more affordable. Also covered, tests for dementia. Now the key will be how to secure funds of some $1.3 billion to cover the cost.
34-year-old Moon Mi-yeon, 9 months pregnant, needs to take a long list of various tests. Just the cost for 9 ultrasonograms before delivery will be close to $550. She's literally scared to visit the hospital.
마지막 달 되면은 추가적으로 하는 검사들이 더 생겨서 초음파 비용 외에 또 발생하는 비용이 더 커져서 좀 더 부담이 되는 겠죠.
Starting next year, the government will apply health insurance to a number of new medical expenses in the aim to lower medical bills related to pregnancy and childbirth. This includes ultrasonogram scans and the cost of staying in sick rooms following delivery. Out-of-pocket expenses for C-section hospital charges and medical costs for high-risk pregnant women will also be lowered by 10%. Health insurance coverage will also newly apply to extreme obesity surgeries, dementia tests, and musculoskeletal MRI exams. Such extensively expanded coverage requires funds, around $318 million annually, for a total of around $1.3 billion by 2018. The Health and Welfare Ministry will finalize details of the expanded coverage plan and implement changes starting from this year's second half through 2018. But pundits call for improving the overall health insurance system as funding may begin to run a deficit from next year.
Smuggling of fake luxury products has increased since the rise of online shopping on overseas sites. Smugglers bring counterfeited luxury products into the nation en masse by stealing other people's identities.
Packages delivered by express consignment carriers are piled up in the customs clearance section of Incheon International Airport. They contain products purchased by consumers directly from overseas shopping sites. The number of packages exceeds 40,000 a day.
이것은 신발이고요. 그다음에 이제 가방, 의류 같은 것이.
Many of the packages contain counterfeit luxury bags and shoes. So far, customs authorities have permitted 2 fake items per receiver because they were recognized as items for individual use. But smugglers have been capitalizing on this loophole to bring more fabricated products to Korea. They obtain fake products en masse after stealing other people's identities to make it appear as if each user orders only 1 or 2 items at a time. Last year alone, customs authorities uncovered approximately $70 million worth of fake luxury goods purchased from overseas shopping sites and shipped to Korea. The amount surged by a factor of 31 in just 3 years. Fake high-end luxury bags accounted for more than 50% of the smuggled goods, followed by watches and apparel. Starting on Friday, the Korea Customs Service will inspect all express consignment packages brought to the nation and report all fake luxury items to prosecutors.
It's been 5 years since the investment immigration system was introduced, under which foreigners investing in Korean real estate are granted permanent residency. But unintended side effects are creeping in, especially on Jeju Island, where there's been a swell of over $900 million in foreign capital.
This condominium complex on the outskirts of Jeju City is fully equipped and even has a golf course. When sales began 4 years ago at a cost of over $457,000 per unit, all 900 or so units were sold. Big money investors from China have been the key clients of Korea's investment immigration system. Under this immigration scheme, foreigners investing over $457,000 in Korean real estate, such as resort condominiums, can receive a residence visa as well as permanent residence status 5 years later. Since the immigration plan was first adopted in Jeju Island in 2010, about $929 million in foreign investment trickled into Jeju, while 1,500 condo units were sold. And 97% of that foreign capital came from China.
처음에는 그 영주권 때문에 하고요. 그 자녀들이 그 국제 학교를 다닐 수 있는 거로 그 때문에.
To further lure Chinese investors, reckless development projects have been taking place all over Jeju. Concerns are also rising as Chinese land ownership has surged a whopping 300-fold in the past 5 years on Jeju Island under the investment immigration system.
Police investigating a hit-and-run case in Jeongju which killed a man overlooked a fragment of the perpetrator's vehicle that they found at the site of the accident. The investigators are now under fire for their failure to catch the culprit early on.
This is the windstorm car of the driver who caused the deadly hit-and-run accident in Cheongju. The 37-year-old driver said that he personally replaced the cover of his car's fog lamp that fell off when he hit the pedestrian. But police repeatedly said they had found no fragments of the perpetrator's vehicle at the site of the accident. It's been revealed that police officers who were at the scene of the accident found the broken lamp cover and even identified it as belonging to a windstorm vehicle, but didn't include it in the investigation.
수사 방향을 이렇게 잡았잖아요. 네. 그러다 보니까 이거는 사고 차량에서 떨어진 게 아니라 다른 차량에서 떨어진 거구나.
Police ruled out any other possibilities after the results of the victim's autopsy indicated that he was probably hit by a passenger car. It also took police 17 days after the accident to obtain security camera footage containing the suspect's vehicle.
그 CCTV 발견하기 전에는 그 BMW가 그래도 그때는 가장 유력한 거로 저희들이 본 것입니다. 저희들이 불찰이죠. 한마디로. 불찰이고.
Police are now under fire for ignoring the investigation principle that the clues required to solve a case are found at the scene of the crime.
Cash remittances from Korea for overseas studies noticeably dropped last year to a 9-year low. Here's a closer look at why.
This agency places middle and high school students wanting to study abroad in English-speaking countries. The number of students calling in for counseling has dropped about 30% in the past 5 years since the global financial crisis.
리먼 사태 이후에 미국 학교들의 학비가 올라간 거예요. 우리 월급은 늘지 않고 때문에 전문직만 지금 많이 유학을 보내고 있는 실정이에요.
Bank of Korea data show that around $3.7 billion were sent overseas last year for tuition and living expenses for Koreans studying abroad. This is a 14% drop from the previous year and the lowest level in 9 years. The biggest reason is because a fewer number of Koreans are heading abroad to study. The number of Koreans studying abroad stood at some 220,000 last year. The figure fell by 40,000 over the past 3 years. The drop is more evident in countries where the cost of living is high, such as the US, UK, and Australia. Many Koreans are believed to be giving up on studying abroad due to the financial burden. Experts also say that parents are not spending as much on children's overseas education as they're pressed to save for their post-retirement.
KBS TV has uncovered exclusive video of the city of Busan following a massive fire that broke out shortly after the end of the Korean War. The site of the deadly blaze served as the background of the hit movie Ode to My Father. Take a look.
The Chung district of Busan was once home to countless Korean War refugees. In November 1953, When the war-ravaged city was under reconstruction, a massive fire broke out. The blaze killed or injured 29 people and left 30,000 people displaced. This woman was one of the refugees who lost everything in the fire.
불덩어리가 내 위에 떨어지는데 그 모든 사람들이 구경하다가 도망가야 돼.
The following winter, which was extremely cold, tents were set up for the refugees at the site of the blaze by U.S. soldiers. Even in such adverse conditions, the Lunar New Year holiday was celebrated. Some are seen wearing traditional New Year's clothes and playing on seesaws. On the 15th of January, according to the lunar calendar, the refugees held a special rite to offer sacrifices to the earth deity to ask for good luck.
대화재를 통해서 엄청난 어떤 경제적 손실 그리고 인명 손실을 입었음에도 불구하고 씩씩하게 굳세게 살아가는 사람들의 모습이었습니다.
This rare video demonstrates the unswerving will of the Korean people to get back on their feet after the Korean War.
Artwork by African children learning their craft from visiting Korean artists now on display in Seoul. Here's a look at the public exhibition.
This remote village in Kenya appears very run down. Children here hold brushes for the first time in their lives and let their imaginations flow on the white drawing papers. It's been 4 years since these children started learning how to paint with the help of Korean artists. Those Kenyan children are now in Korea. This painting, titled The Red Sea, is drawn by a child who's never seen an ocean. The sea envisioned by the child is red, just like the rust-colored soil of Kenya.
Kala blue nilikuwa naipenda ndio maana nikakala pale kwenye karatasi afu ndo kajabandikwa kwenye ukuta.
A child's dream is delivered through the road stretching out toward the world, and each stroke and dot on the paintings represent their desperate hope.
물에 대한 욕구가 있어서 그런지 모르겠지만 비를 표현한 어떤 점이라든가 아니면 비가 모자란 어떤 척박한 흙의 색깔이라든지 그리고 붉은색 그림이 많이 나타나고 있어요.
Roughly 170 pieces expressing the innocence of African children will be auctioned off. The proceeds from the auction will go toward the Kenyan Children's Art Education Fund.
Hip-hop has made a comeback recently, and a number of hip-hop songs are dominating the top tiers of music charts. This and more coming up in today's showbiz news.
Just, featured in rappers Zion T and Crush's project album released on Monday, topped 8 music charts just one day after its release. Fire, a single by another hip-hop musician, Mad Clown, has also remained in the top tier for nearly a month. Notably, the success of these hip-hop musicians was achieved without suggestive outfits or flashy choreography. Folk singer Song Chang-sik is to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award at the 12th Korean Music Awards, slated for February 26th. Song's story is also to be featured in the soon-to-be-released movie, C'est si bon. The selection committee of 67 music experts, including professors and music critics, announced that Song was chosen because his experimental and varied attempts as a musician have greatly influenced the public. Korean and Chinese filmmakers plan to remake Innocent Steps, a Korean movie about the love between a Korean-Chinese woman and a ballroom dancer dreaming of a comeback. The Chinese version of Innocent Steps is gaining attention as the Chinese state TV station CCTV's movie channel is directly involved in the project.
Keeping room humidity at an appropriate level is important during the winter as heating can cause dryness indoors. Today, we share tips on choosing the best humidifier to meet your needs. Let's take a look.
The air gets dry and the humidity drops in heated rooms during the winter.
Maintaining room humidity at a proper level is also good for health.
적정 습도는 한 40%에서 60%로 알려져 있는데요. 젖먹이 너무 건조해지면 그 선모 기능이 떨어지기 때문에 호흡기 질환의 위험성이 높아집니다.
Different types of humidifiers are on the market, and each of them has its own merits and shortcomings. Ultrasonic humidifiers are the most commonly used. They're relatively low priced, but ultrasonic humidifiers need to be cleaned frequently since germs can easily multiply inside the device. Warm mist humidifiers are equipped with a heating element to boil the water inside the device and release the mist into the air, so they can maintain room temperature at a proper level. But you should watch out for the risk of getting burns. This is a natural type vaporizer. The multiplication of germs can be prevented to some extent in this type, but filters must be replaced regularly, costing you some money. Many people might think that purified water is better for humidifiers, but it is not. Germs can multiply more easily in purified water, which has no additives for sterilization. So, for use in humidifiers, tap water is better than purified water. The lighter the mist is, the farther it can reach. So, ultrasonic humidifiers releasing bigger particles of mist are good for children's rooms or offices. Natural-type vaporizers producing smaller particles of mist are good for spacious areas like the living room. Some people opt for natural ways to maintain room humidity instead of electric humidifiers. They leave water-soaked charcoal, hang out the wash, or grow plants indoors. Which one is the most effective? Hanging out the wet clothes was found to be the most effective to increase room humidity. With wet clothes placed inside, the level of room humidity went up from 41% to 88%. Charcoal and plants brought up the level by 2 percentage points and 21 percentage points respectively. And although they're not necessarily humidifying plants, it's a good idea to get some potted plants at your house to help maintain room humidity at an appropriate level. And now let's take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.